here is so full that then this point was dictating the touchdown of the windshield, the entry egress point here, this occupants, this amount of space. So it is a very simple relationship that we then work with engineers. But in the new world that we're going towards, you start to take a look at what is the meaning of that. The first thing that's happening, of course, is what used to be a very crowded environment in here is no longer that crowded. The motors, the electric motors, are very small, very powerful, and they deliver great punch. And not only that, we're able to have more than one of them, and we can move them around the magic carpet, basically the battery pack, which has become more flat. And this has allowed us to have more freedom. So where you can see in this more traditional layout that is a bit confined. So even though the car is fairly long, the area for the first two rows is tight. But what starts to happen, the heel point in a car that has a small congested area is able to move forward, and then the seats are able to adjust back and forth for autonomous driving. And also, as a result, you end up with a cabin which is much bigger than, much more value for the customer than what we had in the past. So this is one of the beauties of the new technology, in the sense of, in my world, when we're designing the car, we are able to, in a car that is even shorter than the previous one I showed, this actually has a completely different segment feel for the cabin length. And here you can see the other benefits. As the cabin volume, as the engine bay volume shrinks, we can move things like the HVAC units and other components that live inside of the instrument panel, and those can migrate forward, again giving you super wide open space for your legs, also super wide and free space for the floor. And as you can see here, you end up having a lot of forward leg room, also a very open feel for a car that's relatively small. And this is a view of that. But maybe one of the more interesting things that is going on today is what is happening to cars that don't have the driver. So where in the past, even in the new generation of EVs, you still have the chicken, in a sense, dictating, because you're driving the car. Even on the autonomous cars where we are allowing the driver to give control back, and the steering wheel can retract, still you have to plan for a car where they're driving and they're getting in and out. So the silhouettes have a tendency to stay in a somewhat orthodox configuration. But as soon as you take the chicken out, the seats can now no longer all face forward. You no longer have to respect the kind of entry egress and all the other things that you have in a normal driving position, and you can then redefine the volume of the automobile. So this is a part that we're engaging right now, and it's quite interesting for us. And this is it. And as you can see on the interior, this is what it really will deliver: a completely open space. It can be a living room, it can be any kind, where you're thinking more about how people get in and out quickly with their stuff, going to the airport, going someplace. It's not about the traditional automobile usage. So with product planning, we're coming up with all kinds of scenarios to exactly what is happening inside of this space. Especially in a normal day, this will have many different people inside. And so you're not dealing with a customer and owner.